Hey guys, it's Erica. I'm a lawyer, and in this video, I'm going to be walking you step by step through how to buy cryptocurrency for beginners. And this is going to apply to you whether you want to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or other cryptocurrency. We're going to go through each step together so that the process is as simple as possible for you, so that by the time you finish watching this video, you know that you've bought your cryptocurrency the proper way and you've taken all of the necessary steps before buying so that you can be confident that your investments are safe and secure. Years ago, my close friend had some Bitcoin and was hacked and lost all of it. That Bitcoin today would be worth over $1 million. That's why this video takes you first through what you have to do before buying cryptocurrency so that your investments are protected from hackers. Then we'll cover actually buying and selling cryptocurrency, and I'll share my screen with you so that you can follow along with me. I do have timestamps below if you want to skip around, but I highly recommend watching the whole video so that you don't miss out on any important steps. Even if you are experienced, this is going to be a great refresher and you'll learn some new things about securing your crypto as well. First, we're going to talk about the key things you need to do before buying cryptocurrency. I got my very first introduction to Bitcoin in 2013 through Coinbase, but got serious about investing in cryptocurrency in 2016. And I remember when I was getting started, it was just extremely intimidating and overwhelming, and all of the terminology and technology and everything was above my head, which is why I wanted to make this video making it as easy as possible to understand for the beginner. Before you buy crypto, which is short for cryptocurrency, which by the way just means a digital currency, so it includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Cardano, and I'm sure a lot of other ones that you've heard of, there are a couple of important things you have to know. The first is that it's considered a risky investment that's likely to be volatile. And you can see this just by looking at how the price of Bitcoin has fluctuated. And actually just a few hours ago, this is what the markets looked like, with some coins down over 50% in the past 24 hours. So it's unlike what you'll experience with the stock market, for example. What that means is you only want to invest money you can afford to lose. So you're not using your emergency fund for this, and definitely not taking out loans to invest. Be aware that it can be extremely volatile. You can see a lot of red here. The second thing you need to know is that you are acting essentially as your own bank, which means that you alone are responsible for having all of the precautionary measures in place. And you're actually like your own bank, your own customer service, your own security guard out in front, so all of it. My friend who was hacked and lost over $1 million of Bitcoin didn't have all of these measures in place, which is why a large portion of this video is dedicated to getting you set up properly. And I don't say this to scare you away from investing in crypto because I think it's very important, but I say it so that you know that it's very different from traditional investments we're used to and traditional banking. If you get hacked, you probably won't see your money again. If you lose your password, there's no phone number that you can call with 24-hour customer service to reset it. Lots of hackers are working around the clock to target individuals with crypto and to target crypto exchanges. And many investors have fallen prey to various scams and phishing schemes and hacks. That's why you'll want to have all of these security measures in place that we'll walk through before you start investing in crypto. And if you've already dabbled in investing, you'll still learn a lot, and also just for the peace of mind that you can make sure you have all of these protections in place. So come along with us, beginners, intermediate, wherever you are on the spectrum. And just a quick note to watch out for scammers in my comment section. I'm never going to ask you to send me any money or give you my phone number, so please be safe. And also don't listen to these people in the comments who say that they'll invest in crypto on your behalf or they have someone they can recommend. Also a scam. You also want to watch out for fake websites that are copycats of the real websites out there, phishing scams. So for that reason, everything I'll talk about in this video, I'll include these safe and secure links below so that you can protect yourself. Always make sure that the website you're visiting starts with HTTPS and has that secure symbol. All right, we are ready. I've divided this into several steps and I'm walking you through each one, so you can feel free to pause the video or rewind or slow it down or speed it up, whatever works for you. I just don't recommend that you skip any of these steps. Before we get started on setting up your accounts, we have to make sure your computer is safe. Whenever you're doing anything related to crypto, you never want to be on public Wi-Fi because that just puts you at risk. We're going to download a malware remover first. The one I recommend is free and is listed in the description below. Malware is no good for anyone, but especially when you're dealing with crypto, you have to make sure that your computer is free of it. For example, if your computer is infected with a crypto shuffler Trojan, this malware can silently lurk on your computer and monitor your clipboard. And when you copy a crypto wallet address to transfer crypto, it could just grab it. Another one you have to be aware of is a keylogger, and that's actually a type of spyware that can track the keys that you're hitting on your keyboard, recording everything you type, including your passwords. For that, you can download a keyword scrambler, which actually encrypts your keystrokes. I'll link that below as well. So you want to run the malware remover first before we start anything. All right, now moving on to the fun stuff. First, we need to prepare the most important notebook of your life. And yes, more important than that cringeworthy diary I had as a teenager that started off with, well, it's me. So this notebook is going to be where you're going to write down all of the various usernames and passwords that you'll need to have. With all of these online tools out there to remember your passwords, why are we using pen and paper? It's because it's the best defense against hackers. Because having passwords and sensitive information saved online on your computer leaves you vulnerable. If you're using password managers like LastPass, LastPass has been hacked. And if you're using another service, just because they haven't been hacked before that you're aware of, doesn't mean they won't be hacked in the future. The great thing is, no one can hack your notebook. I also recommend having 1 or 2 backups of that notebook with the same exact information in them. Then once we're done with all of the steps in this video and you've created all of your passwords and written them down, you're going to take that backup notebook and store it somewhere completely separate from your home. This could be a safety deposit box at a bank, for example, which costs on average $60 a year. The reason you'll do this is because if there's something like a flood or a fire at your house, or you're just clumsy and you spill coffee on it, and you only have that one notebook and no backup, you could lose everything. In case you are a clumsy coffee spiller, or if there's a leak in your house, I also recommend putting your notebooks into these plastic bags. The other thing you want to do, just in case your notebook is lost, you want to put information on the very first page to incentivize whoever finds it to safely return it to you. That should include a way to contact you and also a reward for the safe return. Something as simple as, if lost, please return to, then your contact information and a reward is going to be perfect. Hopefully if your notebook is lost, it'll be a good Samaritan who doesn't try to break into your accounts, but just in case, you can also add a secret code that only you will remember. And I'll give you a few examples. You can add in too many letters into all of your usernames and passwords. So if this is your username and password, maybe you add 3 letters in front of it and just always remember that those first 3 letters are bogus and just to deter the casual thieves. Or maybe you have one number that is never going to be in your passwords. So when you see that number, you know it's a decoy. Let's say my bogus number is 5, so every time there's a 5 in my username or password in the notebook, I just ignore it. Or all numbers 1, 2, and 3 could correspond to letters of the alphabet. So a 1 is A, a 2 is B, and 3 is C. If you do this, just make sure that you yourself remember whatever system you created. So please don't make it so complicated that you actually forget your system. Another one I've heard is to use one of those special UV pens where you can only see the writing with the UV light. So whatever you do, obviously these systems won't deter all hackers, since once they've cracked your code, they can figure out everything. But it'll probably deter just the casual thief who happens to get their hands on your notebook. Once you've done that, grab your notebook and your backup notebook, and let's move on to the second step. The second thing we're going to do is set up a secure email account. Your normal existing email accounts probably aren't going to work for buying cryptocurrency for a few reasons. One is that that email address itself probably contains words or numbers that identify you. Erica@gmail.com is pretty easy for someone to guess. So is your first name and your last name, or first initial and last name, or your dog's name. Fun fact, or creepy depending on how you look at it, you can let me know in the comments, but when I was in law school, I convinced a billionaire to mentor me because I guessed his email. So I really wanted to learn from him, so I prepared this email to him and I sent it to all of the different combinations of his name that I could come up with, and all but one of those emails that I sent bounced. But all I needed was that one to work. And the next thing you know, I was on a Skype call with Chris Sacca, who, if you don't know, is this billionaire investor that you might actually remember from being on Shark Tank. So the lesson here is that if some random law student could guess a billionaire's email, you better believe that hackers will be able to guess your current email addresses. The second reason why you don't want to use your existing email to buy crypto is because if you're using Gmail or Yahoo, for instance, those are not secure. They don't encrypt your messages end to end. Google used to actually scan and read your emails to give you more targeted ads. So you need to use an encrypted email service. And third, other people or companies already know your existing email if you've signed up for, let's say, newsletters or given it to colleagues and friends. If your email gets hacked, a hacker could filter all of your notifications from your cryptocurrency exchange, let's say Coinbase or Gemini, and set it to skip your inbox and automatically forward to their inbox. So you may not even realize you've been hacked. For all of those reasons that I've stated, that's why right now we are going to create a new secure email address that you're only going to use to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. That's going to be its one role. There are several secure email services out there, but the one I recommend using is called Protonmail. So I'm going to show you how to set up your email with them. They encrypt your messages so that third parties can't decipher the content, and neither can they actually. And they also don't sell your data, and they have a really good reputation. It's founded by scientists in Switzerland. First, you'll go to protonmail.com using the secure link below in my description and click on Sign Up. Then you'll choose your account. The basic free account is just fine for our purposes. Click Select Free Plan. Now you're going to choose your username. You want to create a username that has nothing to do with your first name or your last name or anything that someone could guess. I recommend a random combination of letters and numbers. Then you'll create the password. The longer the password is, the better. You want it to be at least 12 letters long and a combination of letters, both capitalized and not, as well as numbers and symbols. This could be considered a good password. This is not. There's a study that actually analyzed over 15 trillion passwords, and it's crazy that in 2021, still the most common passwords include 123456 and password. Also remember with passwords that every account needs a different password. You don't want to use the same password with different accounts, since if one account is compromised, hackers will easily be able to get into your other accounts using that same password. You also should not use a password generation tool since you never really know who could be looking. Once you create your strong password, you can optionally enter a recovery email, then click Create Account. Then it's going to verify that you're a human, so you can choose one of the verification methods to complete that process. Then finally, click Complete Setup. Then you'll see a message that says, you now have an encrypted email account. The next thing we're going to do is set up two-factor authentication. This is just another security safeguard, and when you're logging into something, having two-factor authentication turned on means that in addition to your username and password, it'll require you to enter a second piece of information that only you have before you're actually able to log in. That way, if a hacker somehow gets your username and password, they still won't be able to get in without that second verification method. A lot of times people set up two-factor authentication where it sends a code as a text message, and that's great for convenience, but bad for security. It's the least secure method because it's pretty easy for a hacker to actually steal your phone number through something called SIM swapping. These hackers will call your wireless carrier and convince the customer service representatives that they are you based on information that they've collected about you. And then they're gonna say that they want to switch the SIM card linked to your phone number with the SIM card that's actually in the hacker's possession. A lot of times they'll have a baby crying in the background to help frazzle that rep, and SIM swapping is extremely common. By doing that, they can now access your text messages and your phone calls. That's why we're not going to set up this verification code to go to your phone as a text message, because that can easily be intercepted. Instead, what's better is using a software-based authenticator like Google Authenticator or Authy that's actually time-based. These are where the code automatically changes at a set frequency, usually around every 20 to 30 seconds. We're going to download both Google Authenticator and Authy because some cryptocurrency exchanges that we'll talk about later on in the video only give you the choice to use one. For example, on Coinbase, you can only use Google Authenticator, but at Gemini, you can use Authy. Starting off with Google Authenticator, if you don't already have one, this is going to require a Gmail account. You'll set up a Gmail account and keep in mind the tips that we talked about for how to create a strong password. Once you've done that, go to the App Store, search Google Authenticator, and download it. Once you open the app, you'll have a choice between scanning a QR code or entering a setup key. We'll select Scan QR Code. Then on your computer, you'll open a browser and go to myaccount.google.com/security. Scroll down to where it says Signing into Google, and in that section, you'll see two-step verification. Go ahead and click on that. Next, it'll bring you to this page where you'll click Get Started. Then it needs to verify that it's you, so enter your password and click Next, then Continue. You'll need to add a backup option. You can use a phone or click Use another backup option to get a backup code instead. In this example, I'm using the backup phone number, selecting Text Message, then clicking Send. Once you receive that verification code on your phone, enter it here. Finally, click Turn On. Now you'll scroll down until you see Authenticator app and click Set Up. Choose what kind of phone you have, then this barcode will appear on your screen. Now go ahead and grab your phone. You've selected Scan QR Code, and you can click OK to allow the authenticator to access the camera. Then you'll lift your phone up to the computer screen to scan the barcode. On your phone app, you'll see a 6-digit code right beneath your Gmail address, so enter that code here and click Verify. Then you're done. Now that you've set up Google Authenticator, we'll move on to Authy. With Authy, you're going to go to the App Store and type in Authy to download and open the app. Then you'll enter your phone number and email address. For your email address, we want to use the Protonmail secure email that you set up. You'll verify the phone number either through a call or text, enter your registration code, then you're in. Then just a few more steps to secure it even more. If you click on the gear icon in the upper right, then you'll go ahead and click Security. You want to enable app protection, which is going to prompt you to set up a protection PIN. Enter the PIN and re-enter it to confirm. You'll write that PIN down in your notebook. Then you also want to enable Face ID protection as well as Protect Entire App, which will prompt you to enter your PIN once more. Then on the bottom, click on Accounts, and you're enabling Authenticator backups. You're doing so because if you upgrade or lose your phone or drop your phone in the water, having this backup password will allow you to easily restore your accounts. Go ahead and create a safe and strong backup password, and you'll be prompted to confirm that password once more. Make sure you write this backup password in your notebook. Finally, go to Devices and unselect Allow Multiple Devices if you don't want to allow multiple devices. By doing so, you're preventing others from using another device to access Authy, meaning you can only access it with the phone that you're holding right now. And don't worry, if you lose your phone or upgrade it, that's why you created the backup password, so that you can still get back into Authy on a new device as long as you have that backup password. Now that you've set up both Authy and Google Authenticator, we're going to go back to your Protonmail account and set up two-factor authentication. When you're setting up two-factor authentication, some services will allow you to use only Authy or only Google Authenticator. Protonmail gives you the choice between Authy, Google Authenticator, and another one called Free OTP. When you have multiple choices, you can only pick one. And since I'm going to help you set up Coinbase with Google Authenticator later on in this video, for Protonmail, I'll guide you through setting up two-factor authentication with Authy. Inside of your account, click Settings, then Security, then click Enable Two-Factor Authentication. Once you click Next, it'll bring you up a QR code. Then you're going to open up Authy on your phone, tap the plus button, then click Scan QR Code. Once you allow Authy to access your camera, you'll be able to hold up your phone to the computer to scan that QR code. On your phone, you'll have the option to enter an account nickname. If you're happy with it, click Save, and now underneath the Protonmail logo, you'll see that 6-digit token. Go back to your computer, click Next, then enter your current password first, then underneath it, enter the 6-digit code that appears on your phone. It expires every 30 seconds, so you have to be quick. Once you do that, you're going to see this screen. Do not click Done. You first need to take your notebook and write all of these recovery codes down in the order that they appear on your screen. Having these recovery codes is going to be the only way to access your account if something happens to your phone, like it's lost or damaged. Each code can only be used once, and it has to be used in this order. Once you've written those codes down in your notebook, Then you can click Done. Now that we have two-factor authentication for your email account, next we need to secure your phone to protect you from being a victim of a SIM swap. One man was able to steal more than $530,000 in crypto through this tactic, so we want to make sure that it doesn't happen to you. You're going to call your cellular provider and tell them that you're a high-value target. Here's a simple script. Hello, I'm a high-value target and I'd like to request that any changes to my account only be made in person with a photo ID. Could you please reflect that on my account effective immediately? Since SIM swapping is one of the most common ways people are losing their crypto, this is an important step. And no matter what amount you have or plan to have, whether it's $10 or $100,000, I consider you high value, and so you don't want to skip this step. Most people won't tell you about the simple 1-minute phone call that you can have, that you can make to your cellular provider, that could actually save your crypto fortune. And speaking of crypto fortunes, if you do accumulate a significant amount of crypto, when you go to upgrade your phone, I recommend not turning in your old phone. Of course, these companies will say that they'll wipe your old phone clean, and maybe that is the case and they seem clean now. But there is maybe a small chance that in the future, someone could actually figure out how to get into those wiped phones and retrieve your data. Probably a slim chance, but if you have a lot of crypto, it's probably not something that you want to risk by turning in your old phone. Now we're on to the fun stuff of gadgets. And by the way, I spent so many hours making this, so if you're finding it even remotely helpful, can you take just 1 second to hit that thumbs up button right there? It really helps the channel out so much and also helps this video to get recommended to other people so that they can stay safe as well. For gadgets, you'll want to get a cold storage hardware wallet. And this is a really important step because it's the safest way to store your crypto. The most popular ones are Ledger and Trezor, and I have links to both of them in the description below. There are a lot of fake websites out there pretending to be Ledger or Trezor, and Ledger actually reports that they've shut down 392 fake websites in the past several months. So it's really important to use those verified links below just so you don't end up on a fake website. After ordering through those verified links that I have for you, you also want to make sure that when it arrives, it doesn't look like it's been tampered. To protect yourself, you should never buy these used. You can't buy them from sites like Craigslist because it has to be directly from the manufacturer. If you buy it from a third party, the risk is that they could be tampered with or the private key could already be known. So why is having a hardware wallet important if you're buying crypto? Leaving it on an exchange like Coinbase or Gemini or Binance means that it could get hacked. And my friend who lost over $1 million worth of Bitcoin, that's how it happened. The Bitcoin was left on an exchange and that exchange was hacked and the Bitcoin was stolen. If my friend had moved it onto a hardware wallet like this one that I'm holding, those hackers wouldn't have been able to take his Bitcoin. When you own crypto, you don't actually own a physical coin that looks like this. What you own is a private key, and that key gives you access to your crypto. What a hardware wallet does is it protects that private key by keeping it protected in a secure chip that no one besides you can access. When I use the term cold storage, I'm not talking about temperature and keeping your ice cream cool. What it means is offline. These hardware wallets allow those private keys that we talked about to be completely offline. That's the reason hackers can't access them. They're not connected to the internet. So once you order your hardware wallet using the secure links in the description, I'll have another video linked below walking you through how to set it up. When your hardware wallet arrives, you're going to get a recovery password just in case that hardware wallet ever gets destroyed or stolen. If that happens, as long as you have the recovery password, which is a set of 24 different words, you'll still be able to access your crypto. Never share those 24 words with anyone, including the manufacturers that you buy the hardware wallets from. They'll never ask, but there are a ton of scammers pretending to be them who will ask. Please write those 24 words down in your notebook as well as your backup notebook that you'll store somewhere completely separate from your house. We are almost ready to get to buying your first cryptocurrency. If you already have in mind what you're going to buy, is it Bitcoin or Ethereum or something else? Let me know in the comments just because I'm curious. So we've talked about protecting yourself from bad actors who will want to steal your crypto, and I'm sure this goes without saying, but in general with crypto, your best defense is to not get targeted. Don't paint this red target on your back. If you own it, it's not something you want to be sharing online because that's exactly what hackers are looking for. You don't want to talk about what you're buying, where you're buying, or how much you have. Hackers are looking for screenshots on social media and evidence that you own crypto because then they can say, okay, if I hack Erica Kohlberg, I'm going to have a really nice payday. If you post a screenshot, they're going to know the minimum they can get by hacking you, and they know around when you purchased. So what they could do is scam you by sending you an email pretending to be an exchange like Coinbase and saying, important regarding your last Bitcoin transaction. And the email could say, hey Sarah, you recently purchased this much Bitcoin. There's something you need to verify. Please click on this link. That link is going to direct to a fake website that looks identical to the exchange you used, and you'll be prompted to log in, and they'll record your username and password, then steal your crypto. Basically, the more people that know what you're up to with crypto, the more you're compromising your security. That includes not just on social media, but also text messages. Assume that your text messages could end up in the hands of the wrong people. If you're going to be texting about it, consider using an encrypted text messaging service like Signal. This will ensure that your texts are destroyed after a certain period of time so that they can't be searched. I know crypto is very exciting and now it's trendy and cool to talk about it, and when you buy or you have gains, you want to tell the world, but just limit disclosing anything about your holdings. Let's talk about buying cryptocurrency. There are many different places you can buy crypto from, and these are called exchanges. Some popular ones are Coinbase, Binance, and Gemini. I'll be showing you how to use Coinbase, but if Coinbase isn't offered in your country, you can use another exchange as well. I have links in the description below for you to access these exchanges securely and safely, and through my link below for Coinbase, you'll get $10 worth of Bitcoin. If you go ahead and click on that link below, it'll take you to Coinbase, and you're going to enter your name, email, and password. Make sure you use the encrypted Protonmail email that we set up and a strong password. Go to your Protonmail, click on the verification email from Coinbase, then you'll be brought to this page. Now you're going to set up two-step verification by entering your phone number and sending a code to it. Once you've received that code, enter it in this box and click submit. Then you'll fill out your full name, birthday, address, what you'll use Coinbase for, your source of funds, employment status, and the last 4 digits of your social security number. Click continue. When you click buy, you'll receive a notice that there's additional verification required. They need to know who you are because of financial regulations, so click submit ID and photo verification, then choose whether you'll provide a driver's license or state issued ID, then choose how you'll upload it. You're going to follow the steps to provide your ID, and once you've completed it, you'll see this message saying that they'll notify you once your ID has been verified. It should be pretty quick, but could take a few hours or longer. Next, you'll add a payment method to get money into your Coinbase account to buy crypto. Select a payment method. In this case, we'll do bank account. Coinbase uses Plaid to link your bank, so go ahead and click continue, select your bank, then enter your credentials and follow the steps to select the right account. Now we'll set up your two-factor authentication. On the top right, you'll click your name, settings, then security. Scroll down to where it says Authenticator and click Select. It's going to send a text to your phone to confirm that it's you, and once you receive that text, go ahead and enter it and click Confirm. With Coinbase, you can choose to use Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or Duo Mobile. You're going to pull out your phone where we've already set up Google Authenticator, then click the plus sign in the lower right corner, select Scan a QR code, and then go ahead and lift your phone up to your computer and scan it. Then you'll type in the 6-digit code that appears in the authenticator on your phone under the title Coinbase, then click Enable. Now you're ready to buy. On the upper right corner, you'll click the Buy/Sell button. Then you'll select the cryptocurrency you want to buy. Coinbase offers a number of cryptocurrencies you can choose from, including popular ones you've probably heard of like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Once you've selected, enter the amount that you want to buy and make sure that the correct payment method is selected. You'll notice that there's an option to change the frequency of purchase. You can make it a one-time purchase, or you can set it to purchase every day or week or month. Then you'll click Preview Purchase and it'll show you information about your purchase. Once you're happy with it, click Buy Now. You'll get a confirmation and you're done with that step. I like Coinbase as an exchange, but remember that when you're dealing with crypto, you are your own bank, so you can never fully trust any third parties with your crypto. That includes exchanges like Coinbase. Hackers are constantly trying to break into these exchanges, and exchanges have been hacked in the past. While Coinbase does have insurance, there's always a risk. Remember that if you're the victim of something like SIM swapping, there's nothing Coinbase can do to help you out. Since I'm a lawyer, I've put my legal degree to good use for you and have read their terms and conditions. It says that if you think your Coinbase account or your security details have been compromised or there's fraud or attempted fraud, you can notify them, but that's not much use to you. It says nothing about any obligation on their part to help you recover that money. That's why this next step of moving your crypto off of an exchange like Coinbase and onto your hardware wallet is incredibly important. Earlier, we talked about where to buy a hardware wallet, and if you haven't already done that, the links to safely purchase those are in the description below. Once you've gotten your device and have set it up, now we're ready to transfer your crypto from your Coinbase account onto your hardware wallet. I'm using Ledger, which is the one that I personally recommend. First, you'll open your Ledger app on your computer. Click Receive, then select which account you want to receive it in. If you bought Bitcoin, for instance, you'll select Bitcoin. Next, you'll be prompted to connect and unlock your device, so you'll connect it to your computer through the cable that it came with, then enter the PIN code that you created to unlock your device. When you're entering the PIN code, you'll use the buttons to navigate through the numbers. Once you've entered the correct information, hold down both buttons at the same time. Then you're going to select the correct wallet, which is your Bitcoin wallet in the case of receiving Bitcoin, and again, hold down both buttons. Then you'll see the address for your Bitcoin wallet. Check your Ledger device to make sure that the address shown on the Ledger Live app on your computer is the exact same as what's displayed on the device. If it's accurate, then you'll copy the address that it provides on your browser. On the device, click the right button until you see Approve, and once you see it, hold down both buttons to approve. Then on your Ledger Live app, you'll see this page that says Address Shared Securely. Now you'll go back to your Coinbase account, click the Send/Receive button on the upper right corner. First, you'll select the amount that you want to send. This is very important. I highly recommend that the first time you're transferring crypto from an exchange to your hardware wallet, you only transfer a very small amount, maybe $10. The reason is you want to really get used to the process and feel comfortable with it, see how long it takes to move from your Coinbase account to your hardware wallet, and just make sure that you got the address correct. By starting with just $10, you're going to have peace of mind versus I can guarantee you that if you try transferring it all at once, your anxiety levels are going to just skyrocket as you're waiting to see if the transfer actually worked. But $10, no stress. The transfer time is going to depend on a number of factors, including what cryptocurrency you're transferring and how many other people are trying to transfer at the exact same time. It could take a couple of minutes or hours or even a couple of days. But one thing I can guarantee you is that if you're transferring any more than just a small amount that first time, those couple of minutes or hours are going to feel like days. So that is why I recommend transferring just a very small amount, like $10, your first time around. Once you've decided on that small amount that you're comfortable with, then you'll paste the address that you just copied from the Ledger app into the space that says To. You can leave an optional message if you'd like, and you'll make sure that the correct asset is selected. For our example, it's going to be Bitcoin. Review the information to make sure it's all correct, then click Continue. You'll have one more confirmation page to review everything once more, and once you've confirmed, your transaction is going to be on its way. In this case, it estimates that it'll take about 30 minutes for the transaction to complete. As a reminder, remember that whenever you're sending crypto, it's irreversible. There's no phone number you can call to say that you made a mistake and need it reversed. That's why following each step is important, and also just sending a small amount like $10 first is very important. Then go ahead and click Send Now. Enter your two-factor authentication code that's located on your Google Authenticator app that we set up, then click Confirm. When that transaction is complete, which it estimates will take 30 minutes for this particular one, you'll see it listed on your Ledger Live app. Even though it estimated 30 minutes, for the transfer that I made with this demonstration, it took just a couple of minutes, but remember that it's going to vary widely based on a number of factors. Going on the Ledger Live app, you can now see that the $10 worth of Bitcoin is now in my account by looking at the latest operations. Once you see that, it means that your Bitcoin is officially safe because it's stored offline with your hardware wallet. Now, in case you ever want to transfer your crypto off your hardware wallet back onto an exchange like Coinbase so that you can, for instance, sell it for fiat or exchange it for a different crypto, I'll show you how to do that. You'll go into the Ledger Live app, enter your password to continue, click Send. Then select the account to debit, and next you need the recipient address. For that, you'll go to your Coinbase account, click Send/Receive, then select the Receive tab and copy the address. You'll now go back to your Ledger Live app and paste it into the recipient address field and hit Continue. Next, you'll choose the amount you want to send and the network fees. The faster you want the transaction to happen, the higher the fees will be. Review the summary, and you'll see that if the network fees are above 10% of the amount, you'll get this warning. Once you're happy, click Continue, and next you'll open the Bitcoin app on your Ledger device. You're going to enter your passcode, then review the output using the left and right buttons. It'll show you the amount, then press right, and it'll show you the address, which you'll want to confirm. Then hold down both buttons to accept. You'll confirm the transaction by scrolling right. Then when you see Accept and Send, hold down both buttons. Once you've done that, back in the Ledger Live app, you'll see the final review page. Hold down both buttons on your device again, then you'll see the confirmation page, and you can view the details if you'd like to. Once the transaction is complete, it'll be in your Coinbase so that you can sell it or exchange it. I'll quickly show you how to sell or exchange crypto on Coinbase. To sell, click Buy/Sell, click the Sell tab, enter the amount you want to sell, preview it, and click Buy Now. Then you'll get a confirmation that your order was submitted. Now, if you want to convert instead, again you'll click the Buy/Sell button, then click the Convert tab, then choose what you want to convert it from. I'm converting from Bitcoin. Next, choose what you want to convert to. I'll choose Ethereum. Enter the amount you want to convert, click Preview Convert, then Convert Now, and you'll receive confirmation that your Bitcoin was converted to Ethereum. If you've made it this far, do me a favor so that I can know and comment below the word FIRE. Now we need to talk briefly about the people who matter most in your life. If something were to happen to you, maybe you'd want your family to have access to your crypto. But as you know, it's pretty complicated. My mom would look at this hardware wallet and think that it stores photos or something. In case something ever happens to you, what you could do if you want your loved ones to be able to access your Bitcoin and Ethereum and all other cryptocurrencies is write down very detailed instructions for how they can do that, how they can access it, along with all of the passwords and information that they're going to need. You can put that notebook with all of the instructions in a safety deposit box, for instance, and just let them know, hey mom, if something happens to me, go to this safety deposit box and you'll find instructions on how to access my money. If you found any value in this video that I spent hours and hours making, just hitting that like button right below, right here, would just mean the world. And all of this content around safety is really important and not talked about enough, so your thumbs up will help this video to get shown to more people. If you want more financial and crypto content, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss anything from me. And I'm on Instagram almost daily too, so you can follow me there as well if you want. Remember to always use safe and verified links. I'll have all of those for you in the description below for everything that we talked about in this video. And that is a wrap. Be smart and stay safe out there. See you in the next video.